Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining me today. I did a video, I think about 2 weeks ago, talking about how Republicans in the House of Representatives are actually now putting together a plan to ensure that there is no effort to um, make this election any worse than it needs to be. They're looking into ways of preventing what took place in 2020. They're looking at ways to find to make sure that we have the rightful winner of the election put in place and not being installed. And give a lot of credit to Stefan, the representative out in New York over here. I've given her a lot of crap over the years because she has been a rhino the majority of the time in Congress. But today she came out and she was actually talking actual good efforts in order to put a safeguards into place to ensure that we have an opportunity to make sure we're vetting and we're taking the time to, count the electors and make sure that these electors are showing the will of the people. And good for her for doing this, going into the Lion's Den on CNN or ABC or whatever this is over here, and really laying it out for them, saying, "Hey, we're not going to if this election is filled with question marks like it was in 2020, we're not going to certify anything." So let's go. Before we take a listen to it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. Allow me to share some info with you. Hopefully share it with your friends and family. Smash that like button to 1,500 likes. If you like the content, you like the video, you like the channel, you can smash that join button, become a member of the channel, smash that super thanks if you appreciate the channel. And I do appreciate all of the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you so much as our ever-growing 225,000 as we come closer and closer to 226,000 subs. Thank you guys so much for your guys' support. So let's go ahead and dive into what we have here coming to us from Twitter. That's where I found this clip. And it's Stefan. Let's see here. Representative Stefanski. I'm probably saying that incorrect. You guys will correct me. Let's go ahead. Here's it goes.
Would you vote to certify, and will you vote to certify the results of the 2024 election, no matter what they show?
Well, I voted not to certify the state of Pennsylvania because, as we saw in Pennsylvania and other states across the country, that there was unconstitutional acts circumventing the state legislature and unilaterally changing election law.
What about 2024? What about 2024?
We will see if this is a legal and valid election. What we're seeing so far is that Democrats are so desperate, they're trying to remove President Trump from the ballot. That is a suppression of the American people. And the Supreme Court is taking that case up in February. That should be a 9-0 to allow President Trump to appear on the ballot, because that's the American people's decision to make this November.
And the matter is, of course, halted pending that appeal, as you say. But just to be very clear, I don't hear you committed to certifying the election results. Will you only commit to certify the results if former President Trump wins? Does that mean if former President Trump wins?
No, it means if they are constitutional. What we saw in 2020 was unconstitutional circumventing of the Constitution, not going through state legislatures when it comes to changing election law. And we're seeing this in my home state of New York, Kristen. We are seeing Democrats try to steal the election and illegally gerrymander congressional districts that we fairly won and are fair line. So I see this at a very local level, as well as the unconstitutional overreach we saw at the national level in 2020.
And she's absolutely right, because if you guys remember back after the election, it was early 2021 when Time Magazine came out and talked about how the efforts that went into stopping President Trump from being reelected in 2020, all of the efforts that they used with media, big tech, and all of these, what as she was specifically noting, was like in Pennsylvania, where the Democrats, the Secretary of State, did an end round around the state legislature and changed election laws. And they were not able to get these laws looked at by the courts because the courts were sitting on it. And what we had were illegal laws that were put in place to circumvent the voting processes in many of these states. And that's what we saw take place. And that was an effort led by Democrats in their think tanks and things like that. And it really did catch the Trump administration off flat-footed on a lot of those counts. They should have had many, many more lawyers ready to go in many of these states early on. This was taking place early on in 2019 as we were heading into 2020 and 2020. We know the virus from unknown origins, from unspecified regions, wreaked havoc in the country, giving them the ability to make this end round and to institute these unconstitutional edicts that they were putting in place to circumvent the legislatures who were Republican-led at the time, Pennsylvania was, that they knew they couldn't get this change the state constitution in that amount of time. So they had to circumvent all of those things. And so this is what we saw. And she's absolutely right. If the election comes, if it's all legally done the right way, and there was no gerrymandering, there was none of this type of stuff going on prior to the election, yeah, they will probably have no problem certifying it. But if it comes down to it, we're going to see things that took place like it did in 2020. She was pretty steadfast in, hey, we're not certifying unless we know exactly the Constitution was followed. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and check me out on all my Twitter links and all those in the description down below. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.